everyone, it's me, Speed Force Legends. Today I'm finally going to be doing a video that I'm sure a lot of you wanted for a long time, and this idea was given to me by one of my YouTube friends, BBBM. Definitely go check out his channel and subscribe to him. Well, and this list was very hard to make since it's been hard for me to keep track of my favorite episodes and all of that. And this is just my opinion, so I'll respect yours if you respect mine. So, let's get to this. Also, one last thing, even in the worst seasons, it still has some great episodes, so let's just get on to this list. Coming in at number 10 is The Reverse Flash Returns, Season 2, Episode 11. Now, this is one of the most memorable episodes for me, since it's definitely one of the reasons that explains why he keeps coming back, since the one in this episode was a past version of him. And although that was so far the last we've gotten of him returning, the other reasons was because of Flashpoint and other messing with the timeline. And it was definitely very interesting, since how in Season 1, Barry didn't know Thawne, but Thawne knew Barry very well. But in Season 2, it was the other way around, and where Thawne is in his true form, and it totally nails that. And yeah, just one of the reasons why Season 2 is the best season, although it's not the best episode. Coming in at number 9 is Season 2, Episode 17, Flashback. Now, just to make it a heads up, sorry I don't have any showcases for trailers or pictures, except the one I'm showing because, well, I don't have that kind of stuff anyway. Another Season 2 episode, and this one is also to do with Reverse Flash, and he's clearly most agreed upon to be the best Flash villain. Others consider him the best Arrowverse villain, and it's not hard to see why. And this definitely is another one of the most memorable. It going back to a past episode. I mean, of course, we somewhat get a lot of that now, but back then, this was the first time it's happened. It was definitely nice seeing Barry interacting with Thawne again and his past self, along with Team Flash, and the introduction to the time wraiths was really good, and definitely had a nice way of setting up the last few episodes of the season. Coming in at number 8 is Season 4, Episode 22, Think Fast. this is honestly, in my opinion, the best episode of season 4, and spoiler alert, it's the only season 4 episode on this list. I don't hate the season, and again, it's better than season 6, but even that season's not that bad either. But anyway, this one definitely started to redeem the show and also made it really well done with how DeVoe was. It definitely got more into his plan. Things really started to get going. And the intensity, it's honestly too much to explain, but if you've been keeping track with me on my videos for this kind of stuff, then you'll know that I'm not a big fan of this season, but the last few episodes totally make up for it. Although it didn't save it from what was last place. So yeah, great episode. Coming in at number 7 is season 3, episode 22, Infantino Street. Now, there's a lot of episode 22s on this list, and this, I think, is another memorable episode. It's the last time we got to see Captain Cold. I mean, especially before he died at the end of Legends of Tomorrow Season 1. And things have definitely also gone really good. This is one of Savitar's best episodes, and this is his best one as the Evil Barry. And stealing the whole Dominator tech, I mean, it gets really cool. And yeah, I just had to include it. Great episode. Coming in at number 6 is, this is going to start some controversy, but season 5, episode 8, What's Past is Prologue. Yes, I know all of you season 5 haters are very mad at me right now and go like, well, they should have got the dagger to defeat Cicada. Well, I understand your point, but I'm pretty sure they didn't know how connected he was to the dagger just yet. Since, I mean, in space it holds stuff, and maybe Cicada couldn't until they found out. Okay, that's the excuse I can make. So, honestly, do not care. And this, I think, was definitely one of the most memorable episodes, and it used to be my favorite episode, which is why season 5, before I started my channel, used to be my favorite season. But then, of course, like you already know, I looked back on it after a while and realized it wasn't as good as I remembered it being. But this episode is not one of the reasons why it's not as good as I remembered it being. I mean, it definitely brings back awesome moments from the first 3 seasons. Like Reverse Flash, Zoom, and Savitar all coming back, and definitely the introduction of Thawne And I really liked that kind of stuff. And it's just absolutely amazing. Coming in at number 5 is The Last Temptation of Barry Allen Part 1, which is Season 6, Episode 8. This is the best episode of Season 6, and like Season 4, this is the only one on. And it may be the worst season, but it definitely still had a lot of redeeming qualities. And blood work is one of the things I really liked about it, since, I mean, this episode was very dark and emotional. Definitely has the horror elements and about Barry looking back on his past deaths and Bloodwork trying to manipulate him, the Speed Force fighting back. It's so great. I know a lot of you would think Part 2 is better. I like that episode too, but I mean, that one's only better because of the action. This one is better because of the tone, the story, and you name it. And it's just such a shame that the season did not carry out the good that the first half did. Coming in at number 4 is Season 1, Episode 9, The Man in the Yellow Suit, which is the mid-season finale for Season 1. I knew a lot of you would probably predict this, because this is definitely one of Barry's best fights with Thawne. And it was back when Reverse Flash was really intimidating. I liked his voice and how he's just this unstoppable blur that Barry absolutely hates. It was very well done. And but the later villains like Zoom and Savitar kind of, well, I don't want to say overshadowed him, but still, I thought were better villains. And this episode I used to play over and over and over again because of how good it was. And really, this may be the only Season 1 episode, but again, I obviously don't have the problems with it like I do with Seasons 4 and 5, or especially 6, but it's just hard to compare every Season 1 episode to the ones I'm talking about in this video, but Season 1 still had great episodes. I mean, really, Reverse Flash is the highlight for all of them. And moving on, coming in at number 3 is Season 5, Episode 22, Legacy, the finale for Season 5. This was definitely the best episode of Season 5, and also proved that Reverse Flash was the true main villain all along, and that Cicada was just a plot device, which made fans happy with the fact that there's a better villain for Season 5 now, but really loved how they did with him. It proved that he can literally mess with you through time travel without actually time traveling. And it has one of Barry's best fights with Reverse Flash, probably the best one ever. And yeah, this definitely proved why Season 5 had a great storyline. It just did not have a good execution. Coming in at number 2 is Season 3, Episode 15, The Wrath of Savitar. Now, I know that you know that in one of my earlier videos, I used to think Season 3 was better than Season 1, mainly because it had the number of better episodes. I thought Savitar is a better villain. I still do. But now, really, it's more on consistency, but you get the whole details. And this, I think, was definitely proof of why Savitar was no joke and why he was more of a threat to Barry than Team Flash thought. It had added a lot of suspense to the show. I really liked what they did. Enough said. But before I get to my number 1, here are some honorable mentions. Season 2, Episode 13, Welcome to Earth 2. Season 3, Episode 16, Into the Speed Force. Now, these are one of my favorite episodes. They just did not make it to my top 10. And I know there are others, but if I didn't name any, you're probably going to get mad if my number 1 is not the one you're thinking. Coming in at number 1 is Season 6, Episode 11, Love is a Battlefield. This was definitely the beginning of the awesomeness of Season 6. The drama was very well handled. Nah, I'm just messing around. It's Season 2, Episode 18, versus Zoom. You already knew this coming. It added Zoom's origin of how great it was on him being Hunter Zolomon. This is definitely one of the best episodes for the majority of you, without a doubt, I'm sure. It has one of Barry's best fights with Zoom, and I just really liked it how Barry thinks that since he's now faster than Zoom, he can beat him, but at the end, Zoom's the one who wins. And that stuff was very, very awesome. And yeah, that's it. Let me know what your top 10 is. And also, I know a lot of you are mad at me for not including episodes like King Shark versus Gorilla Grodd or other episodes like that. Yeah. Let me know what you thought of this video in my list. Tell me yours, and goodbye.